this month that I started the company. When I was going to Tennessee Tech, I was studying mechanical engineering and decided to do something a little different for the summer, and had this idea that I thought may work, and so I started running jet skis in 1999.
That's amazing. So before you actually started this business, what actually inspired you to become an entrepreneur? And tell me what it was like laying the foundation for a place like this.
Sure. Well, so I think, a lot of people get into business for different reasons, and some people just are probably natural, born entrepreneurs, or just something in their blood that, just really drives them to want to work for themselves, and that's kind of, I think, would describe me. I like to create things. I like to start something. I like to build things up from the ground up and see them succeed. And so really, for me, even though I was studying mechanical engineering, I really just could only see myself owning a company at some point in time.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Thank you for tuning in to Community Insider. My name is Tisha, and with me is Jason Carver of Canoe The Caney. We're sitting here in his office in Silver Point, Tennessee. So this is such a beautiful business. When did it actually begin?
Well, thank you, Tisha. So it began in July of 1999. So it was 20 years ago this month that I started the company. When I was going to Tennessee Tech, I was studying mechanical engineering, and decided to do something a little different for the summer, and had this idea that I thought may work, and so I started running jet skis in 1999.
That's amazing. So before you actually started this business, what actually inspired you to become an entrepreneur? And tell me what it was like laying the foundation for a place like this.
Sure. Well, so I think, a lot of people get into business for different reasons, and some people just are probably natural, born entrepreneurs, or just something in their blood that, just really drives them to want to work for themselves, and, that's kind of, I think, would describe me. I like to create things. I like to start something. I like to build things up from the ground up and see them succeed. And so really, for me, even though I was studying mechanical engineering, I really just could only see myself owning a company at some point in time. And it really starts all the way back to when I was a young kid. At about 10 years old, I had a lemonade stand, which I know, probably a lot of people do that. A lot of kids try things like that, but I took it pretty seriously, and I really tried to make some money with it. And as a 10-year-old, that's kind of funny, but it actually worked, and we made a little money with our lemonade, selling it. And in fact, at my grandparents' house, I still have the original sign that we had hand painted that said lemonade, on our stand. But throughout high school, I also used to do a lot of things. I sold candy, and did quite well with that. And in fact, it was kind of funny. A lot of times people would laugh. I would end up making so much during the day going to school. I ended up making so much money. It was more than people that worked at McDonald's or something. After hours and on the weekends, I would just go to school and be able to sell enough to do quite well. So I've always had some interest and have been involved in some type of business. So anyway, it was I actually had been working to develop a quick lube business that I was planning to open and go into, and I kind of took a break from business and thought I'm going to go move to Cookeville, start college at Tennessee Tech, and I'll do something different. And you can see I moved there in '97, and in 1999 I opened up JB's Watercraft. So I was always going to do something in business. So
I think that's fantastic. You've always had some kind of drive.
Yeah.
I understand that you also used to compete in motocross. Is that right?
Yeah. I used to race motocross. You see I have a couple of my trophies here, but it was a lot of fun. I did that for many years, and I'd always dreamed of becoming a professional, motocross racer, and that didn't exactly work out, but that's kind of what led me into getting into the jet skis, because I liked motorsports in general, power sports, and so I kind of transitioned from the motocross scene over to the watercraft scene, and I got into jet skis, and I wanted to race skis and do stuff with that, and that's just where the idea kind of developed, that this really could be an opportunity here to generate some money in the summertime, doing something with it. And actually, in order to start the company, I had to sell my race bike, my motocross bike that I raced. I had to kind of give it up and sell all my stuff to be able to afford to purchase the first couple of jet skis that I bought to rent. So it was kind of sad to see it go, but it was a new chapter, and I was excited for what I was doing.
So in this chapter of your life, 20 years later,
right,
and you're still going, so I would consider yourself a success. You've also been featured on the Travel Channel.
Right.
Tell me what that was like.
That was a lot of fun. So we did a trip. It's called the Hidden Falls Excursion. We took folks out to a series of hidden waterfalls that are out in the lake, and it was a beautiful trip. We posted the pictures on it. It just we had such unbelievable conditions. The water, we had just had a good rainfall, so all the waterfalls were activated. It was just amazing, and it caught, as we posted it on Facebook, and it caught the attention of the Travel Channel, and they contacted me and they said, hey, we saw that you're doing this trip, and we just wondered if you'd like to possibly do an episode with us on a series that they called Secret Swimming Holes. And I said, absolutely, it'd be a lot of fun. And so we got it all lined up. In June of 2017, we filmed with the Travel Channel. Starting about 5 o'clock in the morning, we filmed all the way up through 5 p.m. that day. So it was a big, long day, but we had a lot of fun. It was a great experience, and it was really great exposure for my company to have, that under our belt, that we were featured on the Travel Channel. It's not that many small businesses that would have that level of recognition. So it's a big deal. We're very proud of it.
So this is kind of like a secret jewel that I call it. It's just about an hour south of Nashville, and probably about 20 minutes north of Cookeville.
Mm-hmm.
Exit 273, is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in Silver Point, Tennessee. Tell me more about the kayaking versus the canoeing aspect.
Okay. Well, so, when I opened the company up initially in 1999, it was JB's Watercraft. And so it was a jet ski rental business. We added on to that and added some boats to the fleet, but it was pretty much a jet ski business. In 2008, in kind of the wake of the economy crash, I became a little concerned because gas prices were going up. We had we just had a lot of concerns that the boat rental business in general really may take a hit and suffer. So to try to offset that, I wanted to come up with something that was still in the same family of water sport businesses that I had, but something that was really more for families, and it would make more affordable, fun for the families, because renting a jet ski is pretty expensive. So I developed Canoe The Caney, and it was just designed to be kind of a temporary, thing to get us through the, until the economy kind of recovered. It really turned out to be probably one of the most fun and exciting parts that I had developed, through the years. Canoe The Caney is a lot of fun. I love the business. But to answer your question with the canoeing and the kayaking aspect of it, so when I opened the business, it was Canoe The Caney. If I had to open it up right now in 2019, I would probably have named it Kayak The Caney, because the transition in the interest level between canoes and kayaks has greatly shifted. It's now kayaks are the dominant percentage of our rental business is kayaking, but for families and Boy Scout troops and folks like that still come out, canoeing is great. But we see lots of kayaks, and people want to kayak. I personally love them both. I think there's pros and cons to both experiences, but I tend to kind of go with the rest of the folks, and I would probably pick a kayak if I had to go out and spend the day on the water.
That's actually what I tried the other day.
Right.
I tried the Jackson Riviera.
Yeah.
And it has a built-in backrest. I mean, it was just very relaxing.
Right.
The scenery from Betty's Island all the way to the Stonewall Bridge was just amazing.
Float.
The beautiful river. It's 52 degrees year-round.
Right.
And the breeze, man, it was just amazing. I couldn't even tell that the humidity was out there. It was so cool. It was awesome.
Well, and that's one of the things that, I tell folks when you come out to the Caney, and let's say that it's a 100-degree day and it's crazy hot outside, but if you are sitting on a kayak, you're really close to that water, you get a little breeze blowing, past you, it'll feel like you're sitting in front of an air conditioner, because the water is always around 52 degrees, because it's coming out of the bottom of the lake, so it's very cold water. So it's great. It's a great experience. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did very much. So what kind of excursions do y'all do? Y'all do, 6 mile and 9 mile? Can you tell me more about what people can expect on a kayaking or a canoeing trip?
Sure. Yeah, so it's beautiful. The river is so pretty. The 6 mile trip, we run from Center Hill Dam all the way down to a location called Happy Hollow. That's a pretty trip. Just a lot of scenery. You kind of get away from, almost a trip back in time. You kind of can easily forget that, we're in the year, that we're in right now. It could easily be the 1930s or 40s. So you kind of get away from all the power lines and all the modern things. So it's really nice. It's a fun trip. If you continue on downstream, we do another trip. It's 9 miles down the river. Okay. So it's the same section. We start at the dam. So you complete the first 6 miles, and then you do another 3 mile run over to a place called Betty's Island. And that is actually, I think, one of the prettiest sections of the river. You get to go under an old 1800s train bridge that was featured in the movie The Green Mile with Tom Hanks.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. You get to go under the interstate a couple of times. Bald eagles nest up in some of these areas around the Caney Fork, and that's one of the areas that people see bald eagles more frequently, which is it's really, really cool to see. There's all kinds of neat things on the river, so that's a really fun trip. 9 miles down the river it takes you, depending on how the river's flowing, probably 3 to 5 hours to do that run. There's other trips that we do on the weekends. We run a trip sometimes we start at the Betty's Island point, and we take you down a place called Stonewall Bridge. And that is another really, really fine trip. Lots of scenery, lots of pretty things to see. A lot of people really enjoy that one. In some cases, it may even be a little more enjoyable than some of the others, because you kind of get away from some of the congestion and some of the traffic in that section.
Kayaking the Caney Fork River today. It is beautiful. It's right about 80 degrees. The water is 52 degrees and it is gorgeous outside. Floating down the Caney Fork River has many different benefits. It has much rewards with the sun, vitamin D. You get an enrichment source of the sunshine, the nature, the scenery. It's an all-in-all one combination. It also reduces anxiety. It also frees up writer's block. It increases your creativity, relaxes your mood, and once you get on the river, you'll understand.
Jason Carver. He is here to answer any of your questions. You can call Canoe The Caney. Where can they find you?
Well, so the easiest way to get a hold of us, or to learn more about Canoe The Caney, is to look us up online. Visit our website at canoethecany.com. We have lots of information. You can actually book your you can book your trip right there on the website. You can pay for it online, and we can get you set up.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Jason.
Tisha, appreciate it.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing you inside your community.